alongside Francesca Page and John Bogman. J.D. Hayworth welcoming you back to America's Forum. And now is the appropriate time. We've been dealing with some other stories, but so many people have been talking about the shocking passing of Robin Williams. It's time to really deal with that more. And technically, I guess 3 generations are represented here on the desk. I'm a boomer. John, I guess you're an Xer, Generation X, and Francesca is the millennial. And really, Robin Williams did work across the generations.
Absolutely, and as John pointed out earlier, he created movies where, you could watch them with your parents and all still be laughing. So he affected a number of generations.
He's been in all 3 of those generations, living rooms, the movie screen, and that's why this affected everybody so much. But guys, as we were combing the web yesterday for our favorite clips of Robin Williams, I found one from a 2007 performance he was giving in Kuwait. According to the poster on military.com, Williams had just come on stage a little bit early, obviously unaware of what happens at the end of each day at Army installations all over the world.
Uh-oh! I'm not going to forget that. I've never had an entire audience just go, "Forget you! You have no idea!" I was also wondering what's coming from that way.
And Robin Williams had a way of reacting to the situation, a true pro there. And despite his well-documented mental health problems, his addiction problems, he made our troops a priority. And as you just saw there, a lot of them were laughing during a very difficult time in the Middle East, guys. That was, of course, retreat when they lowered the flag at Army installations. And I don't know how other comedians would have reacted having the whole audience turn and face their back to him. But obviously, he knew how to handle the situation.
Master of improvisation, and his presence with the troops and with different conflicts spans the generations. You may remember the motion picture Good Morning Vietnam. Robin Williams as Adrian Cronauer. The real-life Adrian Cronauer joins us by phone this morning. Adrian, welcome to America's Forum.
JD, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Now, Adrian, I understand you didn't get to really interact with Robin Williams when the film was being made, but could you tell us about your first encounter with him?
Well, the director had kept us apart. Barry Levinson, the director, was afraid that if we met, that Robin would subconsciously do a imitation of me, which would change the characterization. So Robin and I never met until the film premiered in New York City. And then we were introduced to each other. We shook hands. He said, "Well, I'm glad to finally meet you." And I said, "Well, I'm glad to finally meet me too." And we got along fine after that. We exchanged Christmas cards. And in 91, he turned 40, and his wife, Marcia, invited maybe 300 or 400 of his very, very closest friends out to California to celebrate. And the star of the whole thing, there were hot and cold movie stars running all over the place, but his mother, who was already in her 70s, had to leave early because she had a hot date that night.
Wow. Well, when you look back at the man, and we hear talk today about depression and all the challenges he faced, during your time with him, was there ever any evidence of an outward kind of depression, or was he always on stage, so to speak, at the birthday party and other venues when you encountered him?
JD, that's a very good question, and the answer is that whenever you encountered Robin, he was always on. You'd walk up to him and say hello, and he'd start doing a routine for you. And the only time my wife and I ever saw him let that down, even a little bit, was when he was playing with his own children. Because, you see, they are able to give him unconditional love, and therefore they're no threat to him.
And so in that situation with his kids, he would stop performing and let them kind of take center stage, or just have that
exactly.
traditional parent-child interaction that so many of us are familiar with.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
and he loved his daughter Zelda, I know.
And we have seen the social media traffic and the remembrance that Zelda offered for her father. I believe Zelda just turned 25
Yes.
within the past couple of days. This has to be so very difficult. And Adrian, as you represent Vietnam veterans and the golden age of Top 40 radio, and Robin took your persona without directly impersonating you and making you into a screen icon, I tell you what I would ask you to do is reflect on your life in the wake of Good Morning Vietnam, how you and Robin Williams saw your lives intersect, and whatever other perspective you can offer this morning. We're gonna ask you to hang in with us, and we will come back more and talk about that as you're being so gracious with your time. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Adrian Cronauer, as we say in the broadcast business, he has the pipes. He had the presence on the air, and obviously Robin Williams had the presence on screen and stage and in many of our lives. That's why today we are remembering the life and time of Robin Williams. Coming up, more with Adrian Cronauer. Please stay tuned.